He was not born into power. There were no palaces, no luxury cars, no private armies, just a rural town in Mexico. Dirt roads, modest homes, a childhood surrounded by poverty and limited opportunity. But somewhere along the way, something changed. While others saw struggle, he saw a system he could exploit. In the 1980s, he left his hometown and crossed into the United States. California became his new environment, but not for long. Street life came fast, so did crime. Small-time operations at first, distribution, street-level trafficking, the kind of work that builds experience but doesn't attract headlines. Eventually, he was arrested in the US and deported back to Mexico. For many, that would have been the end of the road. For him, it was the beginning. Back in Mexico, he didn't return to poverty quietly. He aligned himself with powerful criminal networks already embedded in the country's drug trade. At the time, major cartels controlled entire regions. They moved narcotics across borders with military precision, and they eliminated competition without hesitation. He watched, learned, adapted. Unlike flashy crime bosses who loved attention, he preferred patience. He understood structure, loyalty, discipline, silence. He began working under one of the most powerful cartels in Mexico. He climbed ranks, not through loud ambition, but through efficiency. He built relationships, managed operations, controlled territory. Then the internal fractures began. Arrests, power struggles, assassinations, leadership vacuums, and in chaos, opportunity. When a major cartel leader was killed in 2010, the organization splintered. Smaller factions fought for control. Violence surged. Entire cities turned into battlegrounds. That's when he made his move. He formed a new group. Smaller at first, but ruthless, strategic, fast-growing. Instead of hiding in the shadows, this organization projected strength. They released videos, displayed armored vehicles, wore tactical gear, operated like a paramilitary force. This wasn't the old model of secrecy. This was intimidation. They quickly gained control of key trafficking routes, especially in western Mexico. Ports, highways, border corridors, areas critical for moving drugs northward. Methamphetamine production expanded rapidly. Synthetic drugs became their specialty. Profits soared, and violence followed. Entire towns reported armed convoys rolling through at night. Heavily armed men establishing presence without resistance. Local authorities either stepped aside or disappeared. The organization's growth shocked intelligence agencies. Within just a few years, they were considered one of the fastest-rising criminal powers in the country. And at the center of it all was a man who rarely appeared publicly. He avoided media, avoided interviews, avoided capture. But his influence was everywhere. In 2015, government forces attempted to arrest him in a rural region. What followed stunned the nation. His organization responded with overwhelming force. Military helicopters were attacked, roads were blocked, vehicles set on fire, entire areas descended into open warfare. It was a message. He was not an easy target. After that failed capture attempt, his legend grew. To supporters, he was untouchable. To rivals, he was dangerous beyond measure. To authorities, he became one of the most wanted men in the world. The United States placed multi-million-dollar rewards for information leading to his arrest. Yet he remained elusive. How? Part of it was structure. Unlike older cartel leaders who centralized power around themselves, he built layers, regional commanders, operational cells, independent groups that answered upward but operated autonomously. If one section fell, the rest continued. It was corporate organization applied to criminal enterprise. The group expanded beyond Mexico. International routes stretched into the United States, Europe, and Asia. Synthetic drug markets exploded in profitability. Law enforcement agencies labeled the organization as one of the most dangerous transnational criminal groups in existence. But while headlines focused on violence, something else was happening. Community influence. Rival cartels attacked supply chains. Government forces intensified operations. Financial tracking systems targeted money laundering networks. High-ranking lieutenants were arrested. Each arrest tightened the circle. Still, he remained free. Rumors spread constantly. Some claimed he was hiding in mountain regions. Others believed he moved frequently between safe houses protected by loyal inner circles. Occasionally, grainy photographs surfaced online claiming to show him, rarely confirmed, always debated. The mystery added to his reputation. Unlike previous cartel leaders who were captured and paraded before cameras, he avoided that fate, at least for now. Over the years, internal betrayals have brought down powerful crime bosses. Trusted allies turned informants, security details compromised, but his network remained resilient. Analysts believe one reason is operational discipline, extreme compartmentalization, minimal digital footprint, tight inner circle, and perhaps most importantly, unpredictability. He does not operate from one city. He does not follow routine patterns. He learned from the mistakes of those before him. Yet power always carries a cost. Violence escalated in contested territories. Civilians caught between rival groups suffered consequences. Entire regions became synonymous with instability. International pressure increased. US agencies publicly labeled him among the top global drug trafficking targets. The reward for information leading to his capture grew, millions of dollars. Still, no arrest. Years passed, presidents changed, policies shifted, cartel alliances evolved, but his organization remained. In intelligence briefings, he was described as disciplined, calculated, strategic, less impulsive than some predecessors. He wasn't chasing fame, he was building longevity. And that may be what makes him more dangerous than those who came before. Because the most powerful figures are often the quietest ones. He didn't begin as the biggest. He didn't inherit an empire. He built one, from rural beginnings to commanding one of the most feared criminal organizations in the Western Hemisphere. And while his name rarely appears in public interviews, his shadow stretches across borders. Governments want him captured. Rivals want him eliminated. Authorities continue to search, but as of now, he remains at large. The man behind one of the fastest-growing cartels in modern history, the architect of a violent expansion that reshaped Mexico's criminal landscape, the figure whose organization challenged the state itself. His real name, Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, known to the world by a far more infamous alias, El Mencho.